Om Gama Ganeshaya Namaha. Dear friends, happy Independence Day to everyone. I hope everyone is doing fine. Well, over the last 1 month, I have been touring a lot for my official trip and I could not make videos. However, one question was going through my mind for the last few days continuously. This video is basically addressing that point astrologically. So I want to discuss with everyone and show you, what are the indications possible in the coming months and the reasoning for the problems which is happening currently right now. See, I'm talking about the political situation, the the calamities, the problems which we are facing since July 15th onwards. First of all, it started with the Kerala floods, where some 200 people died. Then we saw the fall of Sheikh Hasina government. She has to fly down to India. She was ousted by the students. There was the entire, like, the Bangladesh actually, erupted, and the it was a major historical day in terms of the Bangladesh history. Similarly, we saw a very dreaded, uh, this event in Calcutta. A lady doctor was brutally raped by some goons at Arjikar Hospital, and she was raped and murdered. And yesterday, 15th August, when my flight just landed, I was coming back from Ranchi. While on my way, it was around 12 midnight, and I saw many, protests all across the Calcutta. And it's like not only in Calcutta, it's throughout the country, even world also. Many places the protests, the non-violent, the peace protests were happening, where the women were actually, taking the protesting majorly, like they were forefronting. The doctors were forefronting. However, at 2 a.m. midnight, there was a ransack at the same venue at Rajikar Hospital. And it was a big, 40, 50 guys came, and they actually demolished the Rajikar emergency centers in front of police. And it is just unimaginable event which has happened in front of everyone. So why these are happenings? So this I will try to address through this particular session, this particular presentations of Mundane Astrology. To understand the events, few things we need to understand. Any mundane astrology, any political events, any climatic events, any mundane related matters can only be predicted through the medini jyotish, way, which is a mundane astrology. Uh, uh, Through the mundane astrology, actually. So, for every year, a chart is cast in the Chitra Shukla Pratipada. This is a chart which you can see in front of your computer and on your screen. Now, I would request everyone just to listen to me. They will understand what I mean to say and why these things have happened. These they will understand. So this particular chart, is cast during the momentarily time, which is the mortem time, when, just the moon crosses the sun, in Chit, this the new moon just end and the moon just enter the first tithi, the pratipada of Chaitra Mash. And it's a Shukla Pratipada. That very moment when just the moon, like here you see the sun is 25 degree 13 minute and 40 second, and like 40.42, and moon is 25 degree 13 minute 40.61. Just when moon cross, that very moment is, if a chart is cast on Chitra Pratipada, that chart is known as Vikram Samvat, which is the entire world predictions can be done through this chart. So Vikram Sambat is the chart, and where the Lord of the day, the day when this particular things happen, Lord of the day, if it is before the sunrise, the Lord of the day becomes the king of the year. If it is after the sunrise or during the night time, the next day Lord becomes the king of the year. So Few strange things were there in this particular chart, which I want to highlight. This is this year chart. This particular event, this Vikram Samvat was on 8th April 2024, and the time was 23:51. That means 11 p.m. and 51 minutes. Now, I want to show you something. On 8th of April 2024, there was a solar eclipse, and the time frame, the peak time frame of that particular solar eclipse, although it was not visible from India, but the time frame of that solar eclipse was between 8th April 9 p.m. 9:12 p.m. till 9th April 2:22 a.m. So that means from 8th of April 9 p.m. till 9th of April 2 a.m., which is around 5 hours. These 5 hours were the peak of the solar eclipse. And this particular moment when moon crossed the sun in Chitra Pratipada, that very moment, that very Muhurtam, that very Vikram Samvat, where the Mars is the king of the year, it was during the Muhurtam is during the very moment when the deep solar eclipse was taking place. So that is the first indication. Now, solar eclipse of Vikram Samvat with the first indication of fall of government. Why? Because sun is a king, sun is a government, and it is an eclipse of sun. So that means the fall of the sun. So that's the first indication in the chart. Now, as you see in a mundane chart, if you go back to history and if you are a student of Medini Jyotish, or if you start reading Medini Jyotish, if you refer to the the important years, like when the major historical this things has happened, like the World War, the Bangladesh Mukti Juddha, the India Pakistan War, Bombay Blast, and these every kind of major activities, always there is a combination of Saturn with Mars, or Saturn with Mars and Rahu, or Saturn with Mars and Ketu, or Rahu with like Mars and Saturn is also aspecting. So there will be a connection of Saturn and Mars. As you see in this particular chart, both the planets, the king of the year Mars and Saturn, they are like 2 degree apart. Mars is 18 degree and Saturn is 20 degree in the third house. So, so Surya Grahan, fall of government. And the problem, Mars is the king of the year. Mars knows war, aggression, fighting, and those kind of things. And Mars with the enemy, Saturn. And this is the first indication of a major turnaround this particular year, major ransack this particular year, which was clearly in the Vikram Samvat 2081. Third, this particular Lagna rising is East, Sagittarius, and the Lagna has risen at 2 degree 29 minutes, which is Mula Pada 1. Mula Pada 1 is a Gandanta Pada. So that means, and Jupiter is in the fifth house with Mercury, the seventh lord. So that means all the indication in the chart is showing some kind of a fall of a government, problems, ransack, fighting, aggression, and those kind of things in this particular chart, because it is a peak time of solar eclipse when this event has triggered. Now, in mundane astrology, the fourth house, where this particular Grahan has taken place, is having four planets, the Sun and the Moon, and Venus and Rahu. Venus is a karaka of female, and fourth house is represent in mundane astrology, agriculture, opposition, mass, as well as educational institutes. If you see Bangladesh war, Bangladesh, this, the recent what has happened in Bangladesh, that is basically a movement by the students. So, and the fall of the government, Sheikh Hasina, she is a female, and it is a mass movement. It's happening in the fourth house. Why this is in this month? That is all that I will also show. Similarly, this particular 5th of August, unfortunately, like, some very heinous person actually raped a lady doctor in Calcutta, Arjikar Hospital, and she was raped. So problem was showing in the Vikram Samvat chart. A major mass movement was showing in the Vikram Samvat chart as well, which is related to female and educational institutes, because it is there in the fifth house and Surya Grahan. So king will fall down. So Surya Grahan, and it's a lady. Venus is a lady. Now, why? If you notice, similar kind of an events which has happened in Bangladesh, similar, but in a different, this different temper, which is happening right now in Calcutta. Both are like, when it was an Akhanda Bharat, both was a part of Bongo. In Bengali, we say Bongo or Bengal. Bangladesh was part of Bengal only. And this particular, this Bongo was like undivided. And sun denotes the east. Sun, solar grahan, Surya grahan, fourth house, Mars, Protestant, opposition, students, Venus, female. So female got raped because Rahu is there. Female minister fallen because this particular combination is happening in the fourth house, and the chart has an indication of the solar Grahan, and it's a student protest. So now we see a similar kind of an activity which has happened in West Bengal as well, where the pick of the capital, because Sun is a capital also, pick of the capital, these event has happened. Sun also denotes medicines in Mundane astrology. In Karaka also, in classical astrology, Sun denotes medicine, Moon also denotes medicine. So, it's a doctor, actually, like, she was a doctor. So this event has happened. Why? Because Saturn and Mars is particularly there. Yesterday, when the transit was happening, you see, yesterday, then this moon thing was happening. This Mars and Jupiter were there in the sixth house over the Rohini Nakshatra, very sensitive nakshatra for India. Rohini Nakshatra. Whenever any malefic transit over the Rohini Nakshatra, if there is an event, it is also the Lagna of India, actually, Taurus, this particular thing. Yesterday, if you see clearly the degrees, just a moment. You see the degrees. Mars was 22 degree and 59 minutes, and Jupiter is 22 degree 36 minutes. So there is a planetary war. If two planets are within 1 degree, there is a planetary war, and the lower degree planets always win. But if the exception is there, if there is Mars, because Mars is a soldier, Mars always win. So that means Jiva, the Lagna Lord, is dying. The Lagna Lord, there is a failure. And yesterday there was a massive, ransack in Calcutta, which has happened. So let me just go back. Now, like this particular Vikram Samvat, which declares the king of the year, there are other charts as well, because the entire cabinets are formed based on sun ingress. For example, sun when comes to Aries, the moment when sun comes to Aries, that particular day, the Varish is basically the minister of the year. When sun goes to Leo, that particular day, that particular Varish becomes the security minister, like the defense minister. When sun goes to Virgo, that particular day, it becomes a finance minister. In this particular chart, I want to show you. See, like the king is the Varsha Kundali, like the king is not the Varsha Kundali, Vikram Samvat. King is this particular Mangal. But who is a minister? That we have to see from the Jagat Kundali. This is a Aries ingress chart. Now, you see that it was on 13th April 2024. The Varish is basically Saturday. Shani is the Varish. So Shani is the minister of the year. And Shani is right now retrograde. And Shani, if you go to the Leo ingress, which is happening, I think, on 17th or 18th, I think 18th, just a moment. Sorry, it is happening on 17th. So that is also happening on Saturday. That means the security, the defense minister is also Shani. So that means the king of the year, who is Mars, and the minister, who is Saturn, the defense minister is also Saturn. So the clash will be there between because Mars and Saturn are enemies. So there will be a clash between the Mars and the Saturn, the security will be compromised, which is happening all across. The Bangladesh government actually left everyone, like the entire crowd came inside you know, the wherever Sheikh Hasina used to reside. Similarly, yesterday also we saw like the police were there standing in front, and the goons entered the Ajikar hospital, and they actually have demolished the entire hospital. These shows that and this particular things also one sutrams. Now why this is happening uh, with from like this particular like this um, sun ingress and the Cancer sign, why this particular period, this 1 month, this solar 1 month, all the problems are coming up. There is a theory behind it. In Jagat Kundali chart, whichever house has got the malefic, see, Jagat Kundali starts on April. So that means from April to April are 12 months, 1 month, one sign. So sun, the house where the problems like the statement is, here it is in the fifth house where Mars and Saturn is in Jagat Kundali, not in the Vikram Samvat. You have to calculate from the Lagna. So it is in the fifth house. So that means the fifth month. You have to come back to the Vikram Samvat. And if you see the particular this transit, see, sun from the original position has come to the fifth month. Hence, it has triggered this particular month. It has triggered. Also, Venus, Moon, Sun, and Rahu is also related to stock markets. We also have seen a lady, a SEBI chairperson. She's also being right now there is a defamation. There is a controversy which is right now also happening regarding to that lady. Now, the serious part, which I want to tell you, see why this is happening, because a similar kind of event are happening in the eastern part. Even in, if you see the eastern part, there is a fall of government. Orissa, which is Kalinga, which is also denoted by sun, there is a fall of government there as well. Even in the Indian political situation, although BJP has won, but the opposition has risen. So it's a NDA government which is there, but still, like, it's just not like the ideal scenario what the people have expected. And I'm not commenting into that, but here the scenario is something which is very alarming, which I want to tell you. Again, I'm going back to the Jagat Kundali chart, and just want to show one thing. You see, in the Jagat Kundali chart, the fifth month from the Lagna, April if it start, April, May, June, July, August. The problem statement has happened in August. Sixth month, the Rahu is there. Venus is also there. Mercury is also there. Venus is the eighth lord as well. And Venus is the female Karaka. So the similar kind of a event which has triggered till the time Saturn is retro, and when Sun transits over this particular this Leo sign, which is a sixth month, uh, coming back, this particular sign, when Sun is coming here, especially the Mrigasira Nakshatra, where there is a Latta, there is a concept called Latta. Anyway, I'm not going into that. Mm, our chief minister, Sri Mamata Banerjee, there can be some kind of a major tension which can happen even to her. There can be major protest in the eastern part, especially in the Calcutta, Bengali speaking part, or the eastern part, because it is a Surya Grahan, Vikram Samvat. And the mass protest is the indication. And she has to be very careful about the protest, as mm, fall of government indications, as we have seen, which has already happened in Bangladesh. It may also happen in West Bengal, especially the coming 1.5 month, which is by this particular September, like that. So this is very serious time, especially for the eastern part. And I would request whoever, if someone is watching and very close to the government, they should make our chief minister also very very careful about the coming transits. And why? Because you see, both these two planets are aspecting the Leo sign. Now, the Leo sign is actually this. If you see, the Leo sign is basically having the Magha nakshatra, which is the Namo nakshatra is Ma. So Mamta Banerjee Ma is there, Ma. So basically Mamta Banerjee. So there is a Veda. So basically, this particular time frame, this particular when the Leo transits happen, and specifically Sun when in the Leo and Mars when also come to the Mrigashira nakshatra. This is something she has to be careful about the opposition. She has to be careful about the protest, and that is what she's going to. This coming 1 month is not going to be very easy. Saying the current transit and the indication in the Vikram Samvat chart. So that is about my prediction, and let's see what happens. And I hope like the good things happen, and we are expecting the chart is having the indication of a major the turnaround in the Indian political scenario as well in the coming 1.5 months. So let's see, and we will discuss again after if the events trigger. So thank you, my friends, and I hope basic of mundane astrology have understood, and by the chart how to see the timing of the events, which month it will trigger from the Jagat Kundali, you have to see which house the problem is, calculate that house from the Vikram Samvat, and you will get that particular month, the fourth, fifth, sixth, or whichever months from the Jagat Kundali, whichever house the problem is, and predict likewise. So I've explained, and say it's a student protest, the fall of the government, female rape, Mars, Rahu is there with Venus, and Mars Saturn, the indication of a major problems. And even in the US election, which is going to happen this particular year, there can be a change of government as well, even in the US also, because Surya Grahan was visible in the US. Even in Europe also, you will see there was some problem in the domestic, the civil, even kind of a civil, this disturbance out there. So, my friends, let's observe the next month, and I will come back with other videos and for knowledge sharing. Thank you very much.